Hi, I'm Tim Horn for Breaking News, a very special segment again today relating to interviews we're having with young people from other parts of the world, outside the United States, who have insight that we don't normally see every day and can offer a lot for us. So today, I've got a name that I can hardly pronounce, but I'm going to try it, and then I'll let him correct it. All right, it's Krzysztof Moshnisky.
Close.
It was close.
Close. Yeah.
How would you say it?
Krzysztof Moszyński.
Okay, for all the Polish people out there, I've reclaimed truth for you.
Oh, it's a beautiful language.
It is. Yeah, and it's a beautiful place too. Apparently, I have not been there. Never been to Poland.
Well, when you come, you're very much invited.
Well, thank you.
Let me know. I'll walk around.
I want his address before we leave. Okay, let's get started. So, Mo, Mo is 27, and he is visiting today as part of the Project Arizona program that's going on, and we want to thank them for their courtesy in having come and visit with us today to have an interview. So we want to get some ideas of what's going on in Poland, what's it like growing up there, what the government's like in particular, because a lot of our viewers are interested in government. So that's one of the things I'm going to ask you about. Now, Poland's how many people?
38 millions officially, but of these many young people left for other countries. For example, it is very well known that many Polish people go to UK, so real number would be more like 32 millions.
32 million people.
Yes.
That would probably surprise a lot of our viewers to know how many there are. Of course, we have a lot of viewers that don't know how many people live in Phoenix. That would be about 4.5 million, just so you know, in the metropolitan area. So that's a lot of people. And how would you describe the government in a short version today and its transition from what it was before, when it was dominated by Russia?
The current government.
Yes.
Well, back after Poland became a democratic country, we had several governments that were not too stable. We had a government of people who were actually post-communists, who actually came from the communist era but were still elected in a democratic era. After those times, there were new governments of two parties, Law and Justice and the Civic Platform. And these two governments really, when you see the way they rule the country, there aren't too many differences. There is just like status quo. The spending always increases. The public debt always increases. That's what they have in common. And the current party, the current ruling party, called Law and Justice, we know it in Poland as the Conservative Party, but it's very different from the conservatives you have here. The conservatives you have here actually understand that for wealth, for general welfare of people, you need to have free markets. You need to have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Well, in Poland, we do value freedom of speech and freedom of religion, but we are very bad when it comes to economic freedom, to understanding that you really need free market for people to be wealthy and to really realize their dreams, to realize who they are. So the Polish so-called conservative government isn't really big when it comes to free markets. Really, it's the most anti-free market government since the communist era, I would say. And it is very surprising to everyone who is a conservative here. And it actually can be an inspiration for you to never lose the values you hold as conservatives here.
So you like free markets then?
Yes, I love free markets.
Yes. What you think? You probably think, as I do, that in free markets, you're going to generate more wealth for ordinary people. And so what I like to say about free markets is free market and free people, which is a Judeo-Christian value, but free markets and a free people have produced ordinary people having lives better off than all the ordinary people that have lived before us. And that is the opportunity that, unfortunately, it sounds like you're missing right now with your current government. And of course, we have a government here that encourages that, and we've got good times, good economy, but we've also been repressed by having more socialist people in the past in control of our government. So we have a view, we can see it, and we know that part of the America now being in the forefront of economies in the world once again is because of less regulation, less control, and more what you and I would call free market, where people make their own decisions, start their own businesses, and their achievements are up to them, and they're not to be kept from them by a government. So we're proud of that here, and conservatives like me want to control that, and we want to protect that from being controlled. So I hope we'll be able to. If you were going to advise a voter today in the United States about any party that exists in the United States, because I know you're obviously intelligent about what's happening here and educated about it in the United States, what would you say to voters in the United States and what they're faced with or going to be faced with in our 2020 election?
Mhm. Do your research, really look at what candidates have to do with freedom, with personal liberty and with economic liberty. If they promise you that they will give you something, they will spend money, public money to do something for you, don't believe them, don't vote for them. Because really the government doesn't have its own money. It will take your money to give it back to you in some form, but it won't be the form you would always want. So any politician who promises to just give you more of public money is an evil politician. You should be wary of those people, and you shouldn't trust them.
So what you're saying then is that for you, and I agree, free people in a free market, that's what gives you freedom. You
Yes.
need both. You need freedom of rules on your personal desires and what you say, but you need free markets so that trading occurs and wealth can be built.
Actually, I think that free markets and personal freedom isn't the objective of these things isn't necessarily just to build material wealth. As people in life, we have various objectives, we have various goals. We are to realize our full potential. I'm a Catholic, and I believe that we are all called to get closer to God. Our life is a path that leads us to God, and we can walk on this path, but really to do this effectively, we need freedom. We need to be able to choose. We need to be able to choose good. We need to be able to choose evil. If there is someone who is choosing instead of us, what choice do we have? What opportunity do we have to really blossom as people, as human beings?
So that's well said. That is well said. So, and I would have to concur with that. It's true. It's wider because especially when you bring up religion, religious freedom is so important. I'm a Protestant, but I'm a proud Protestant too. I've got certainly nothing against the Catholic Church. Most Protestants don't. But the point is that you and I both should be able to approach our view of God just exactly the way we want to. We should be able to talk to others about it, proselytize it if we want, and live our lives the way we want to. That's personal freedom.
Yes.
Excellent. So if you are spending your time, I know you are spending your time and you're traveling around certainly parts of the United States, what strikes you most about the United States that maybe you didn't realize before you visited here?
Well, the United States is a country of people who are very rich, who are very open, who are very kind, who are very generous. In Poland, when you see the society that's post-communist, that had its moral values destroyed by the communist era, you see very, very different people. And you see that communism not only destroys wealth, which can be rebuilt, but it also destroys people ability to trust one another. It destroys people ability to really communicate, to cooperate. And people here in the United States are so much different, at least here in Arizona. It is the part of the country where you can really feel the spirit of free people. And this is what excites me about Arizona and about the United States. I hope Poland will be able to one day, in this respect, become like Arizona, become a real country of free people, realizing their full potential, cooperating, peacefully cooperating, and really doing everything free people do.
And we have the same hopes for you. Krzysztof, I was close?
It was close.
Okay, I'm close. Thank you so much for being here today. Your insight is wonderful. You're obviously a well-spoken man, and we appreciate you visiting our country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.